This has been an idea for a while. I've been suggested it. I've often had the idea to do this as well, is to take your comments, your stories, your opinions, and put them in a video to showcase them and also share my opinions and, or maybe rebuttals if there's an argument to be had. Uh, that's the one thing I love about doing content like this. I love that you guys can leave comments and share your experiences, your stories, your thoughts, feelings, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Uh, I know on the forums, if you try to do that or you try to interact with the company themselves, they don't usually like that. But here I figured we could showcase some comments. Most of all of them from my most recent video, I will be including, and even some negative ones. So, right off the start, this one was linked on a different video, but I thought it was kind of funny. I did it last time I showed a negative comment, and I thought this one and I thought I'd give a quick answer. No, no, most people don't consider me a negative person. Actually, quite the opposite. People understand how I am, and they like the fact that I have a no BS policy. I'll say it how it is, and that's what people love about me. I would argue that a lot of the people that watch my content like that about me as well. There's no fluff, there's no BS. I'm not going to beat around the bush. If there's something I disagree with, I'm going to point it out. A big thing I dislike is greedy corporations. And in the current day and age we live in, there are a lot of them. Now, there are a lot of great companies and corporations that actually do value their customers, their users, but then there's a lot that don't and just care about, the bottom line, which is money. So, no, most people don't think I'm a negative person. I like though that you came and left a comment like that. Very snarky, very cute. I like it. I liked reading this comment because this is something that I have experienced. A lot of us have. It is a very common occurrence when you start on a server. I've gone to a SIPTA server before that was dead, and we were having fun on it, building up. And then all of a sudden, the server started to get more population, people that considered it their home server. That's fine. You want to come war and battle, that's great. But some things started to happen. The whole log out, load into someone's base exploit was used on our base, and we noticed a lot of our stuff was looted. So I agree fully. You run into this all the time. It sucks. You're going to run into cheaters. You're going to run into exploiters, people that just take this game a little too serious, or think they have ownership of a server and think they have the right to use exploits, cheats, etc. to win. So when I read this, I thought, the first thing that came to mind was a pretty well-known one. I think everyone knows about it. Was when the one update dropped. I can't specify which one. You were able to get about, unlimited keys for legendary chest. And, I noticed when raiding people, there was just tons of legendaries, and this could be it. There are certain spawns for some legendaries when you kill bosses that you're more apt to get it. So, but also having an unlimited amount of keys to open legendary chests, and they're not hard to get to, and you just keep running them on loop. They could have done it that way. They could have been maybe using more nefarious means as well, but I think it would probably go with that key exploit. This one made me smile. This one made me laugh. This is something my group of friends that play Conan Exiles with me, we've all joked about this. I've said it before in videos that if there's a new patch coming out and it goes to the test live, you don't play the test live to experience the new content. You go to experience the new bugs, issues, exploits that are going to be coming to the game, because most of them don't actually get fixed before that update goes to the live servers. So when I read this comment, it was just like, I've had that thought. I know other people have had this thought. Yeah, they've got to be aware of certain bugs to a degree, correct? Because lots of people report these. They get these tickets. The point of test lives, is to find issues and fine tune things. But then they release it and there's still issues that people have probably reported, and they're aware of it. So you got to wonder sometimes, that little that conspiracy thing might be like, Are they doing this intentionally? Quite possibly. I don't have enough proof to ever say such a claim, but I do think it's kind of funny that other people think this as well. And I'm sure it's not just a handful of people. A lot of us who have played Conan for years, we've just seen the constant bugs drag over from the test live with new updates, and it's like you gotta be aware of it to some degree, right? This comment is extremely relatable, not just for me, but I'm sure a lot of you. But the one part that stood out to me the most was couldn't even finish the series he was working on. I was working on a series, I had tons of content. I'm talking about probably 2 terabytes worth of footage. And I wanted to make this like a grandiose series of from nothing to everything to the cheaters, blah, 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 to just make this like a Chronicles of Conan. And then with recent updates, it was just I lost all motivation. And I'm someone who usually likes to finish things that I start, but I just had no motivation or drive to deal with the new bugs, exploits, everything that's been running rampant currently. So I can relate. I'm sure a lot of you wish they would just fix their game. You may notice there are some weird words, especially if it's your comment, how some things might have been changed around. That's just, to keep it appropriate for the YouTubes. You know how that goes. But I tried to make sure the point was still there if a word got changed around or something. But this is why I wanted to do this video. I get lots of comments like these. I see lots of similar stories to experiences I have, and I want to showcase this. This is the same for this individual and his group. Like, this is a very common occurrence from like the other comment we were talking about. They were playing on a server and hackers showed up. This is the play experience for the game at this point. And you can't go to private servers for refuge because half the time on private servers, the admins or the friends of the admins have access to admin panel. They spawn in whatever they want. They get away with whatever they want. You'll get banned if you mess with them. All sorts of nonsense like that. So we can't even go enjoy the game on a private area. And finding good private servers is even harder because, let's be honest, people don't want to pay to run these servers anymore when this game is literally just going straight into the dirt. But I appreciate everyone that shares stories like this. It brings a lot of validation to the claims a lot of us speak of, and maybe one day, maybe they'll listen. I doubt it, and I hope that Dune doesn't repeat the process, but it probably will. And I don't even think you can raid in Dune right now. I think it's like PvEC, so I mean, a lot of people are going to be turned off to that, but maybe on private servers you can enable it. Maybe they'll enable it on certain servers. I don't know. We'll see. That's another video. Sorry. Comments like this are very simple, but to the point. This is something I have brought up in my videos, but I usually try to add a lot more information. But just a comment letting me know of your opinion is great, because some people watch my video and I don't think they actually read through the comments. I think they just think that, I have this biased opinion that they just disagree with, but there are hundreds of us, if not thousands of us, who share a similar opinion on something. It can't be wrong in that situation, right? Are you trying to say everyone in this category who disagrees that the game is crap and it used to be good and it's getting worse, you think we're all crazy or something? There's hundreds of us. So at some point in time, you've got to start analyzing the data and be like, maybe there is something wrong. If lots of people are having similar issues and experiences and have similar emotions towards this thing, then just maybe there is something wrong with it. Maybe these people are onto something. I'm just saying, old Conan had some issues, but there was a point in time where Conan felt it was going in the right direction. And I wasn't actually upset about the updates. And I thought, wow, they're actually revitalizing this game. And then they did all this. So I don't know. This is an individual who seems to, casually play the game in single player. And even they're saying they add mods to try to, liven the game up. Something that I touched on was the fact that you almost need mods in this game if you're playing on a PvE server or you're playing by yourself just to make the game playable. Because with recent updates, even as this person shares with us, they're nerfing things, they're changing things, they're taking a lot of the challenge out. They're taking out a lot of things that people did enjoy, and they're not really balancing these updates towards the community at all. And even PvE players or casuals of the game are starting to feel these updates interfere with their play experience. So I don't blame you about the lag. I have experienced some great private servers that, were very good, run on proper machines, the actual dedicated machines, not shared Nitrado servers and whatnot like that. And I thought this comment was fitting to go right after the last one we just viewed, because this is an individual who only has about 600 hours. They play single player. They experience the game through updates, play the game, rinse, repeat. And there are a lot of people like that. And when people like that start to notice that the game is getting to a point where it's becoming boring and repetitive, and the changes that are being added to the game actually aren't adding all that much. When you watch a live stream, you'll realize there's not a lot being added. And you read patch notes and it sounds like a lot's being added. And it's like you get hit with two different examples of something, and then when you actually get the product, you go experience the new content and it's lackluster. It's something I have said for a long time, that most of the updates, they're just fluff. They add it to the game and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Oh, I can go over here and hunt down this creature or animal and get this little thing and go turn it in for rewards. It's a very simplistic idea. The execution of it is terrible, and it's not engaging for the user. Kaval and I have ran into each other on multiple fronts, whether being friendly with one another and fighting off individuals or fighting each other. And I wanted to showcase this comment because Chase Phillips was hilarious, and he was in the last video with the footage. This guy ran his mouth all the time, and now I never did see him cheating, but I did see him in chat talking about how he was going to get exploits and stuff like that. And I heard reports that he was running around with speed hacks and all that, all the good doodads. So I thought it was kind of funny because I remember when all of this was going on, and Chase he ran his mouth a lot, that brings a lot of attention to you. And then, when that attention became too much for him, like I've said in videos, these people turn to cheating just to survive in the game. Just put the game up. Just leave. Just go play something else. Resorting to that just to win in a game, is it really worth it? How much money did you spend on these exploits, from a third-party company, doing my air quotes because we know where these cheats come from? You're forking over your money and also your personal security at the same time. A lot of these exploits get implanted on your computer, and do you know what kind of data they're able to pull? Do you know anything about these, or are you just buying it so you can win? Thank you for that comment. It brought back some memories, and even when I was going through the footage, I remember laughing at this guy because he was threatening us. He attacked us first, we retaliated, and he threatened to cheat and do all this stuff to us. And what a mess that was. That was such a okay. That's Conan though. This is something that I have talked about, and I think a lot of us in the community have talked about, when they brought the, basically infinite stamina to us, and then people were like, we need a fix. And then Funcom was like, well, we're working on a fix. I really went in hard on them about that, because you already had a fix. When we overexerted, we went into a gray area that we could be punished in. That system worked. Why they even changed it made no sense. If they wanted to increase stamina regen, fine, but they could have left that gray area. If you were dumb enough to get into that gray area, you should have to wait 2-4 seconds in order to come back and have your stamina regen, meaning a more experienced fighter can take advantage of that. I loved that about the game. It made you balance things properly. And as for SIPTA with this comment, I'm going to be doing a video on SIPTA. It's not a surprise to me that there are still issues with it. I'll get more into that in that video. I'm trying to prepare a whole SIPTA video, so that'll be the next one that I get out there after this. And we'll go into detail on that. Appreciate the love and support always. I've seen your name around. I appreciate it. I'm pretty good at remembering names and faces and stuff like that, so it's always nice when I see regulars come along and share their opinions and views. And I feel like it gives validation to my claims and all of our claims. A lot of us that want to, share our experiences and opinions on this. I did have to change some words around because I don't know how YouTube felt about it, but I figured White Knights works just perfectly as well. And it's true. I really do believe that. I have been saying that for how long now? Someone can go back and tell me. It's something I've felt deep in my bones about this game, that there is certain people that they just cater to and listen to over the actual community as a whole. To run a good business, I'm not gonna repeat my shtick, but to run a good business, the kind of information you want to get is all information. You want to take that and come to, a general consensus and find that middle ground with it to try to balance what the community wants as a whole. Lots of companies do marketing research on products and stuff like that. Game companies do this as well. Funcom missed the beat on this. They seem to have a drive, and I mean, I've said the drive seems to be financially motivated, I guess is the best way to put it. But I agree fully, and you know I do. I don't even have to say it, I guess. I have said it before that I wish more companies would take a look into how Face Punch deals with cheaters and deals with their game. Like, the Face Punch devs have taken a game that was subpar to start with. It was fun, but it was subpar, and they've turned it into a game that has a massive following and still continues to grow to this day, still giving it great updates. The way they deal with cheaters as well, the response times, it's great. They even implement little things here and there for cheater. I remember sliding down a cliff once and I got kicked by the anti-cheat. Yeah, it sucked, but it was cool that it's there. I was a little more upset because there was someone shooting at me. I slid down the cliff. I got kicked out. I wake up and I'm spawning in my, the map and spawn on your bag and stuff like that. So I wasn't happy about that, but that, the efforts there, they're trying to make a difference. Things have gotten even better since then. And they do fix things in a timely manner. And guess what that company does better than Funcom does? Makes more money. Hello? I feel like it's a good time to plug my future videos. Hey, right? No. But I do want to do more videos on Myth of Empires because Myth of Empires has been in my LOS as of recent. And I want to get more into detail about it because, trust me, I understand that game is very pay to win. But recently, Myth of Empires released a ban sheet showing everyone's names who have been temporary banned, perma banned, what servers, whatever they're on, official, seasonal, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I like that transparency. There's a part of me that's like, hey, you want to make money off your game. I'm okay with that as long as you take care of your players on the game. Why can't Conan do that? Why can't we get a list of people? Why can't we get more explanation and transparency to how you get banned? Why don't you do better investigation with your reports? Like, I'm not excited about Dune because if it's going in the direction of how Funcom handles things, then yes, when the cheaters do come along and find out how to exploit the game, it's going to be the downfall of it. We'll get some good play time out of it for a while, but then it'll eventually get to that same point. I want to be wrong, and I hope by all means I am. I hope maybe Dune is fun and blah, blah, blah. I don't have a lot of hope for it personally. Recently, games have been coming out that are more interesting to me than what Dune's gonna be, so I don't even know if Dune will be relevant except for the fact that it's doing well in the box office. Well, the movies are anyway, so there might be more attention for people to try out a Dune related game. But I don't think it will be any different. And I feel like there will be its own issues if these, I'm just going to say it as if these idiots are running it. It's just how it's going to be. I thought this comment was interesting because the fact of this individual talking about corrupted Funcom staff members. I have no actual proof on this or screenshots or videos that I can go off of to actually say I believe it 100%. I believe there is a possibility. I have heard stories about certain people selling certain things so that people can get access to certain panels. Okay. I've heard it go so far as these individuals sell it to cheaters who then use it to build their cheats based off of. I've heard admins showing favoritism to certain clans. I've heard all of this before. It's not the first time I'm hearing of it. I'm sure many of you who've been around for quite some time have heard these rumors. I've never been able to actually get enough evidence or proof on it. I did get a name once. I'm not going to put the name out there because I was never able to link the name to anything. But trust me, I did try. I was like, oh my God, that would be the best video I could release if I could actually prove real abuse from a Funcom employee or someone that works with them, using their power to their advantage to whether, make money or to ruin others' experience on the game. I did try to make that video come together, but I just felt like I didn't have enough information. So possibility, of course, there's a possibility. But where I stand, I'm kind of just in the middle. I have no actual leg to stand on with that one. But if you want to share your story with me, whether in private or another comment, please do. You got information, videos, and stuff like that, let me know. I will investigate it. I'll do a video on it. I'm not going to lie, I had this mentality before. I might even have said it in a video. Dealing with cheaters can be fun, especially inexperienced cheaters. But as of recent, from what I've heard about what cheats are able to do, I still do get people that reach out and let me know what's going on in Conan. And the current exploits are just on another level of what I've experienced. There were ways around certain things, but the cheats are getting to the point to where it's just, there's not a lot you can do to fight against them. It's just getting, it's like a wasteland out there at this point. There were sometimes things we could do. I remember using shields that caused bleed and getting hackers to destroy themselves because they were, hitbox pulling us and hitting our shield, and then they would bleed. It was hilarious. Little things like that we could combat. Ratting and them not being able to get to us, protection behind certain layers. But things have gotten so extreme to where, the pulling of hitboxes, pulling you to them, the ability to just clean out your base without, even having to do much work or effort. You don't even have to break into a base. I don't know. Sure. But that goes to me, people, to actually stand on par with the cheaters, you gotta cheat. And at that point, I'm out. So, maybe whatever server you're playing on, you're able to deal with the cheaters without cheating. That's great. More power to you. But to me personally, the exploits they've gotten crazy over the last year. And I don't know how to fight against them except by not playing the game until Funcom decides we're losing players, we better fix this. But I don't think that day is coming. A bittersweet comment to read. Yeah, I remember raiding alongside you. I remember blowing up some Silent Legion stuff. We were all having fun. And then the cheaters started coming along, and I just bowed out. Some people from my clan helped out and tried to do what they could do, but me, I was just done. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with cheaters. I'm not going to deal with people that can't just take an L and move on and get better at a game. You know, I don't got time for them. And I don't blame you. I currently can say too, I no longer play Conan. I appreciate the fact you still watch my videos. It means a lot to me. A lot of you have been watching my content since day one. I still see regular names and stuff like that. And while I'm a small channel, I want you to know that I appreciate every last one of you who has been along for the journey. And I'm really excited to see where we can go with this because I've realized what my expertise is. And I'm going to take this into other games and maybe, you know, outside of games as well. But I appreciate all the support. Sorry you don't play it anymore. That's how it is, though. Officials are full of cheaters. Like this is just a common thing you're going to see people repeat constantly in these comments because that's just how it is out there, and it sucks. You can't even play a game you once enjoyed. Listen, don't let your blood boil. My blood doesn't boil. When I see negative comments, I actually have the opposite reaction. I don't get upset. I actually get happy because if you offer me, you know, constructive criticism and you actually go into detail, that's awesome. If you just insult me, it is like a ticket for me to roast you because you might think you're clever and witty coming up with a little snarky thing typing in my keyboard or my smartphone. He showed him. But you know I'm going to rebuttal, and I might even put you on blast a little bit. If you're going to put yourself out there with some good informative ideas for people to think about and consider and be like, he does have a point here, and I can kind of see where he's coming from. But holy crap, don't worry about it. But of course, you know, I agree with you. I get a lot of comments that come along and people that just don't like me because they, you know, like, yes, sir, I love this game. I'm going to defend it with, you know, blah, blah, blah. You can't take my boobs away from me. Stuff like that. It's just some of the people that are really hardcore about this game that hate my opinions and views. Well, welcome to this video. That's the point of this video. I want to share other people's frustrations that are on the same level as me. I make this content for entertainment. I make this content to be informative and to put our voices out there, not just mine, but yours. A lot of the information I get and, you know, videos and clips and things that I'm given, I make these videos and I put it out there. I can't go do it on the forums. There's no point. Like, you go on the forums, you're either you'll get some people that agree with you, but oh my gosh, you just get torn a new one. Like, people don't want to hear it. The little white knights come out and they're like, don't you talk about our game. Don't you dare. And then of course, there's not a market full of titles that compare to Conan Exiles. I mean, maybe Soul Mask, is that the game? A lot of people have been saying it's similar to Conan and got some things. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't speak personally. But you know, there are more games coming out that could actually replace Conan for us. I pray, I hope, please, please. But yes, I think I've said it before. There's lots of denial that go on. I mean, if information keeps adding up to a point where you don't take a look at it and say, okay, maybe these people are onto something, you're in denial. Something you could look into for these individuals is cognitive dissonance, you know, where they feel they have to defend something, but in reality, what they're defending has lots of issues, flaws, and mistakes, and they can't make a reasonable judgment because they're in that level of, well, cognitive dissonance. This is one of my favorite comments. I thought it was extremely cute. It's not a rant, it's an opinion. Well, then lots of us have similar opinions, so tell me how it's not truth, okay? Please, I ask all the time, if you have an opinion or want to prove me wrong, please write a comment. Leave some actual information that we can get behind and, you know, see a different view from it. But no, this is what we get. A little snarky person comes in the comments like, I'm gonna take his title and I'm gonna remove a word
and I'm gonna replace it with opinion. Mom, Hot Pockets?
Like, come on. You can do better than that. Please, please, for the love of God, give us your opinion. Share your details with us, because I'm getting to the point where a lot of the things that I discuss, I offer evidence, I offer proof with these comments as well that people leave sharing their opinions uh that share in my sentiment and my complaints with this game. It's felt by other people. It's not just me. So is there just an opinion, or is there not some truth to it? Think about it. Come on, I hope you watch my other content. A lot of you haters out there watch my content, don't subscribe, but still watch it just to complain about it. And it's fine if you want to leave a little snarky comment here and there. We can put you on blast and have a good laugh about it. And at the end of the day, please, if you can offer some constructive criticism and actual opinions that lead to truth, that's great. We'd all love that. Please, please enlighten us. Please. This is the kind of logic you need to look out for in people in life. This statement can be construed and just molded into so many different things, terrible things, actually. I'm not going to give an example, but if you were to read that, you could replace certain words and justify just about anything with that sort of logic. It's illogical, though. Okay? There are cheaters if other people are cheating, just like there are other terrible people in the world, but that doesn't mean you should do it. If everyone had the same access to something on a game, like I can go craft this item, wow, but so can you. You just got to get the materials and stuff. But if you're paying a certain amount of money for a subscription to an exploit just so you can take advantage of other players and ruin their play experience, it's still cheating. Hello? Yeah, I've heard this before. People told me, go play console, there's no cheaters there, blah, blah. Yes, let me go buy a console just so I can play a game I enjoy because the devs are too incompetent to fix a version of it. That's where I feel about that. Currently, though, I haven't seen any footage on it, but I've heard that some exploits or cheats are making their way to PlayStation 5 currently. If anyone in the comments has any experience or can elaborate on that statement that I've heard, that'd be great. If that's the case, that cheats are actually making their way to new gen consoles, well, pretty soon that place will be a wasteland as well. But no, I'm not going to go buy a console just so I can play a game I enjoy because the devs just don't care at the end of the day to fix a game that originally came out on PC. But thank you for the suggestion. I mean, if I had a console lying around, I probably would be playing Conan on it. I'm not gonna lie. You can hook up mouse and keyboard to new consoles these days. So Hitman, I'm not gonna disagree. If I did have a console, I probably would have a Conan account for it. But I'm not going to go out of my way and get something I don't have just to play a subpar game at this point. And maybe this will encourage other people to share their stories and we can get, more information out there. And maybe this will get to the right people and maybe things will change. Maybe they won't. But hey, at the end of the day, at least you're trying. And that's all you can do. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. And yeah. I will see you in the next one, which should be my SIPTA video or a Myth of Empires video. It'll probably be the SIPTA one. I'll probably get that one going. I've just been really wanting to get that one done. I've had the idea for like a month now, and I've been putting little things together here and there for how I want the video to play out. Until next time, you all have a great day, night, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Thank you again for all the support. People that don't like me in the comments, please, if you have opinions that could possibly lead to truth, share them with us. Let us see a different side. You're going to leave a little snarky comment, you're allowed to do that. But I would say it would be more helpful to enlighten others. I like that word. Enlighten. Enlighten me, oh great one. I'm out of here.
Yeah, we navigate a maze of lies. Deceit's the game, no alibis. In a world cooked in mystery, we face the truth.